Hey guys, what's going on? Mighty Leafy here. Welcome back to another Monster Super League video. It has been a while since I've last made one of these videos. Pretty long. I'm sure the last video I made was like, what is a super clean? If you search up what is a super clean on Google, it's actually the top result. Yeah, so I would say it's probably not bad as a video title. Anyways guys, today's video I'm going to be doing a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to be doing is doing my Heroes Festival summons. So I did buy a ticket, so let's get that over and done with. I won't skip for the ticket summon, but I'll skip the rest of them just so we can get through this a little bit quicker. Okay. Well, maybe I should just skip through it as well. Doesn't really matter. Go, 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 go. Okay, nothing good. Alright. Let's watch an ad. Okay, so the ad summon. It's nothing good. Alright. Man, so the rates are as brilliant as ever, huh? Okay, so we got 4.4k, 4.47k Astro Gems. Just gonna use as much as I can. And then do a little bit of rebirth. Oh good, I got a Wild Fang. Yo, that's like the first Wild Fang that I've gotten out of one of these pools for like it's the second one in like the past few months. I really need a Wild Fang because I'm working on my Dark Wild Fang, but haven't really been getting them, so that's not really that great. Also need some Cupids, but obviously the reason I'm pulling here today is, oh cool, I got a Cupid as well. Reason pulling Heroes Festival, obviously get that extra egg whenever I do get a Nat 5, if I get a Nat 5. So the reason I haven't really been making too many videos lately, or just at all, is there's just nothing really exciting to talk about. None of the new astromons are that exciting. I mean, I suppose we had the Griffin rebirth, and we had Veritra, and now we have the Penelo coming in. Penelo's not new, but he is a currently happening type thing. So none of those like, they're kind of exciting, but they're not like really exciting, I need to talk about it type deals. And then we have the Nat 3 League, which turned out to be way different than what I thought it was. I thought it would just be its own little junior league with Nat 3 mons, but then it turns out it's just, oh no, it's the regular league, except that all your Nat 3 stuff get like a boost. So on one hand, it kind of makes people that spend a lot of time building their Nat 4s and Nat 5s like, oh what, you spend all this time building your stuff? Well, doesn't even matter now because my Nat 3 stuff, like, it's gonna destroy your stuff. But on the flip side, I guess it gives newcomers, new players, you know, people who only have Nat 3s built up, it gives them sort of like a chance at redemption in the special seasons, like for that 1 week only special sale type deal. I haven't really tried it because it's not really interesting, so I guess I can't really knock it. Don't knock it till you tried it. We also had the World Boss, which is just like a DDR event that you get to play a couple of times every 2 weeks. So that's not really interesting at all. I don't feel like it's interesting. I feel like it's repetitive, the interface lags, and sometimes they pop up and then you click this, but then it didn't register the click properly, and then it's, oh no, you've only got like the 3 seconds, so guess that's that. Right, so I guess we can do a bit of a Griffin review, because Griffin was the latest 5-star rebirth mod. Might be a bit interesting to you guys. I'm not really gonna like go really in depth about everything, but just give you guys my general thoughts basically. So the Fire Griffin is a defense aggressor. So the first thing, you know, defense aggressors, if they come in RGB, the only reason you want to use them is maybe for like defense on your PvP team. And let's say fire defense aggressors, for example, like case in point, you would probably only consider if there was a really strong water nuker that's in the attacking. Maybe it's easier if I give a different example. Imagine if you have like a water defense aggressor, right? You know that Fire Drekka gets used a lot. You put the defense aggressor that's water element in your team, and then as soon as your opponents use the Fire Drekka, and I don't know, like maybe kills one of your weaker guys, and your hidden mon is that defense aggressor water element, it's gonna go for that Fire Drekka, and that Fire Drekka won't really be able to kill it. But then the attacker team will probably be like, oh, my Fire Drekka is gonna be weak, I gotta like have a wood attacker there to back him up. So yeah, that kind of stuff happens. So anyways, I think defense aggressor is really just used for like PvP defense. If you know what your opponent's gonna be using, I can't think of anything that's in the meta that's water nuker and it's super popular that I keep seeing people use. People just use Fire Drekka, Light Yuki, and like if they're gonna nuke, that's like the stuff that I've seen them use. So I don't know about this one. I think this is probably the weakest choice here. But then if we move on to the Water Griffin, alright, so the Water Griffin at first glance looks a little bit like a contender because you have that ambiguously worded 3-star skill, Barb Taunt. So it's a new skill. Nothing in the game has it until now. Performs a counterattack proportional to damage received for 1 turn, and then grants a 100% chance to draw enemy attention for 1 turn. Enemy cannot die to counterattacks. Okay, so basically what it's saying is that, like, think of it like a hedgehog, right? So the Water Griffin's like a hedgehog. It punches your Miho and then it shrivels up into its spikes. And then your Miho the next turn is taunted, so it goes to punch it, but then it punches the spikes, so it hurts her hand. But it still does damage to the hedgehog, right? So you're taunting, but also you're dealing a little bit of the damage back. Okay, so that might sound pretty good at first, but you know, I don't know what to make of it. I don't have one myself. I was considering getting one, but then everybody I knew who had a Water Griffin, you know, they were excited to try out the Barb Taunt thing as well. They all came to the same conclusion, like after Evo 3, after jamming them and all that stuff, putting lots of investment into them, they all told me that Water Griffin basically kind of sucks. Anyways, let's move on to the Wood. The Wood is a nuker, which to me is the most boring type of astromon there is in this entire game, because the one thing with nukers is they all do the same thing. It's just a big punching contest, like who can punch harder, that's it. So like a fire nuker is the equivalent to a fire astromon that can only do fire blast and nothing else. And a water nuker is like an astromon that can only do hydro pump but nothing else. And then a wood nuker is like if an astromon can only do solar beam and nothing else. So you have the varying stats, but all you're gonna look at the end is probably like, oh, who punches the strongest, and also like, oh, who can survive more than 1 hit from the opponent. But of course, when you're talking about the opponents attacking you, like you don't know how many times you're gonna get hit, so it doesn't even matter. Like you just look. The light and dark nuker is even worse because like you don't even get that option to change. Oh, well, do I want to use fire blast? Do I want to use hydro pump, or do I want to use solar beam? Because you're just using the one attack, and it's probably like, consider it like hyper beam, right? Like the light one uses hyper beam, but it's easier to use because it's got crit rate. And then the dark one is like, oh man, this hyper beam's so strong, but it might get resisted, or it might not even land. Like it's just the hyper beam. So, but specifically towards wood nukers, you know, I think Wood Griffin is probably a really good choice if you want a really strong wood attacking mon. Like if there's this pesky tanky water astromon on a PvP defense team that you really need to take out, like Water Arthur, man, I gotta like take him down. Or if there's like a water purse or something like that, but you can't take it down for some reason, then yeah, it's probably an okay choice. It's only a good choice because of the choices that the defending team makes. to put those astromons there, but then I guess that's just how it is in PvP games anyway, so I don't know. I just find nukers to be boring. I like the skills to be a little bit non-damage focused. Now that's just a matter of preference. Obviously, if you guys like nukers, you're free to like nukers. Like, everybody's got different opinion. So we got the Light Griffin. Light Griffin is I think the biggest problem in this new lineup. Like, I think Light Griffin is the Griffin to get, but it's also a problem because the Light and Dark Griffins are really hard to get, or they can be really hard to get. So Shit 433 have made a potentially meta-defining mon, because we all know Fire Drekka was sort of like it initiated a meta shift, but then at least it was a RGB mon, right? Fire Drekka is fire, so you're gonna get fire easier than you're gonna get light and dark. But this one is like the meta shift mon is a light and dark one, so it's really hard to get. So I personally don't feel like it's fair that they put a meta shifting mon in the light dark one, but I guess maybe it's to reward people with the wallet to back it up. Like, maybe it's to reward the whales and also at the same time the few lucky people that can get this through the rebirths. But I guess it's not as bad as maybe like Dark Indra, and there was a spoiler leaked mon that I saw on Facebook the other day that's pretty much gonna be the Dark Indra of PvP. So I don't know. I guess you can still do PvP without this one. In fact, PvP is very doable even without Light Griffin, but it's just Light Griffin at the very least just offers a different way to play PvP than their standard way. So if you're getting bored of PvP, then building up a Light Griffin is really reinvigorating, and it's really like, it's like, oh man, what? I can do something different? What? Why didn't you tell me? I'm coming back to the game. So it's like one of those astromons. So yeah, like, so if you pair this guy with a Dark Merlin lead, your PvP team, like the focus of what the team's gonna do, instead of nuking people down, you're just gonna be CCing people all the time. So I guess that's basically what it boils down to, and the difference of playing. It's like, oh, gotta tactically CC this guy, nuke that guy, but now you can just CC everybody. So maybe it's not so different after all. Maybe it's just the same thing, but it's just a little bit easier to do. I don't know. Let's move on. So we got the Dark Griffin, which I'm not really hyped about. As you can see, obviously it's another nuker, but it's worse this time because the nuking skill is Hunter. So it doesn't nuke unless it crits. But in an age where crit resist trinkets exist, and there's all this crit resist shit going down, like, this shit's unreliable. It's like a shotgun with the worst spread possible. So I don't know. I think Dark nukers have really dropped a couple of tiers after the implementation of just crit resist trinkets and all that stuff. Maybe with 433 coming up with all these new leader skills, like I saw the other day on that new leaked mon, it's got defense break, like it lowers enemy teams' defense down by however many %, whatever it is. Maybe we can get like a crit resist, so we can resist the crit resist that other people are using to resist the crit. Does that make sense? Oh, you know what would be an even better idea is if we could have a game stability lead. You know, like if you have this mon as your lead, your game is less likely to crash. That could be a really good variant lead. I think I would run that lead 100% of the time. Okay, so we've also got these guys, Emperio. So let's check them out. I guess, because why not? And it's like, since we're doing this, since I got nothing else to talk about. Okay, so Emperio and Imperito, whatever, the light and dark. So these guys only come in light and dark varieties. Don't come in the RGB variety. They're the astromon you can summon by grabbing the soul stones off the world boss that you can do a few times every 2 weeks. So both their 3-star skills, Battle Rush, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The 5-star skill for the light Emperio is Shock. But it's shocking to see that it's only 60% chance. So I'm not even gonna, I don't even care that it's 2 turns. I just look at the 60%, I'm just saying that's not good enough. Cause why not just go with Light Yuki or just Light Snow White? Or even like Light Thor is out right now and they have higher chance of doing shock. You know, 1 turn, 2 turn. 2 turn doesn't even matter if you can't shock them. Okay, so the variant lead skill is a new one. It's called Defensive Stance. Decreases enemies' attack power by 35 to 40%. Okay, so that's kind of interesting, I suppose. I guess it's kind of like increasing your own defense, but instead of like sharpening your shields, you're corroding your enemy's swords or something. So it's like a different take on the same skill, basically. I think. Let's see what it's a defender. Okay, so it's a defender. Oh, does the variant color look kind of neat? All right. Yo, the variant color looks kind of good. This looks like some Zone of Ender shit, man. Okay, so let's take a look at the dark one. Yeah, I prefer the light one. Preference. Okay, so the dark one is a nuker. Great. Hunter. Okay. Well, good luck getting past the crit resistance stuff. Let's see. It's an attacker. Okay, so maybe you can. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. It's got pretty good attack as well. But would you use this over other stuff that are easier to get? Yeah, there's a lot of bitter dark nukers out there than this guy. And there's a lot of, to be fair, there's also a lot of bitter light defenders out there than this guy. But I don't know. I guess neither of these mons are insanely great. Emperio, guys. Kind of sounds like Elio. You think Elio's gonna get one of those? I mean, at this point, it would be harder not to get one of those eventually than to get one of those. I'd say he's gonna get one of those. But yeah, anyways, let's see. Right, guys, I guess that's all there is to really talk about. In conclusion, I didn't really get anything from my Hero Fest, but I'm gonna try to get more Astro Gems and roll till I get at least 1 Nat 5. I did that Astromon review type thing, but it's not really like a proper review. Let me know what you guys thought about that, by the way. Also, check out my Discord server. Link is down below in the video description. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I will catch you next time.